21 Ford Mustang Mach-E Premium, $28,998. 23 Nissan Armada SL 4x4, $38,500. 24 Lincoln Navigator Black Label 4x4, $81,997. Raven Ford, your hometown team, delivering pre-owned vehicles you can afford.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center for you on this Saturday, and it's going to be another gorgeous day. Now, I think we're going to have some mid to high level clouds hanging out with us throughout the day today, but that really should be about the extent of it throughout the afternoon and even into our Sunday. But remember, next week we're talking about a chance for a few showers and a few thunderstorms to arrive as the cold front moves its way on in. Let's talk about the forecast ahead of us today. We start the morning off on the comfortable side. We're in the 50s, a few pockets of 60s across the Southern Valley. We'll be in the upper 60s to low 70s for the lunch hour, and our goal as we get into the afternoon is going to be in the low 80s. That's the general rule of thumb. Now, the wind, not really windy per se, but a little bit of a fall breeze is going to be setting up shop. A little bit more so across the mountains, and I think the mountains will hang on to a little bit more of a wind as we head through the overnight hours. So something to keep in mind if you're joining us from the mountain counties. Other than that, we're talking forecast high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. So turn out to be a beautiful day and a nice evening. If you have any sort of outdoor plans here tonight, heading off to some of those fall festivals, maybe you get a concert tonight. We're down to 79 degrees by 6 and 66 by 10 o'clock this evening. All right, let's go ahead and talk about those weather headlines, because we're talking about a ridge of high pressure holding strong through the weekend, at least in the upper parts of the atmosphere. Temps are going to be trending at or slightly above average. And then a little bit of rain with some falling temperatures. As we get into next week, we are talking about, I've been talking about over the last couple of days, maybe our first solid fall cold front will arrive. Well, that's still a little iffy right now. Let me paint the big picture here. Ridge of high pressure dominating in the upper parts of the atmosphere. We're looking at our jet stream. Our jet stream is way up and over into Canada with a trough digging across the Pacific Northwest. As this trough hangs strong, we are on the eastern side of that. There's a low pressure system to our south that may start to throw a little bit of moisture our way. That's why I think we're going to have some mid to high level clouds throughout the day today. Most of the moisture through Tuesday is probably going to be off to our west, although I have added about a 20% chance of rain on Monday. And then as we get into our Tuesday, Wednesday, a cold front's going to be ushered through the area. So there's Tuesday evening, cold fronts to our north and west. Cold front slides to our south and east as it moves its way through. That's going to spark off some rain showers. Now, we're not talking about a ton of rain, maybe a quarter, upwards of about a half an inch at most. But what we're going to experience back behind that cold front is some drier air. Now, high pressure is going to be to our north. We do have some clouds hanging out with us and a little bit of higher moisture content than what we were talking about the last couple of days. Most of the dry air is just to our north into Kentucky, the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes area. So we'll see how this all plays out. I am expecting dew points to fall just a little bit, but how much do they actually fall? It really depends on where that ridge of high pressure moves. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So dew points gradually climb ahead of the cold front. Cold front comes through on Wednesday. Dew points gradually fall Thursday, Friday. Not nearly as they're not going to fall nearly as fast as we were looking at a couple of days ago. So we'll see again how that plays out. But increasing dew points, cold front moves through, increasing chances for rain. Then as we get into our Thursday, Friday, those rain chances start to come on down. So 20% on Monday, 30% on Tuesday, and 40% on Wednesday. And how much rainfall are we going to actually see? So there's through Monday morning. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Thursday and Friday, we'll start to see a little bit of rainfall. But you can see about a quarter to maybe upwards of a half an inch of rain, with the bullseye being off to our west and northwest. Above and beyond the 7-day forecast, we may be trending on the drier side as another ridge of high pressure starts to build its way on in, which will cool our temperatures down. So we'll stay in the low 80s all the way through Tuesday, upper 70s Wednesday, low to mid 70s next Thursday, Friday, as again, a little pocket of some cooler air is set to arrive. I don't think it's going to last long, as I think that we are going to continue that trend to at or slightly above average when we're talking temperatures, and realize that an average high temperature for this time of year is 77 degrees. Thanks for checking in with your long weather update. If you ever want a quick snippet, 1 minute with Witcher is where you need to go. Check that out. It's free on the East Tennessee Weather app.